All right, guys, we're back for round 13's review of the Supercoach 2022 season. Um, this was probably the worst buy round for the majority of players easily. I'd say about maybe like 70%. 1766, which honestly, that's a lot higher than I thought it would be. And going off like the first game of the round, I thought this was going to be like a disaster round. It's like a 1500 score. But actually ended up being like not too bad. And I think that's like the consensus, like opinion throughout people is it wasn't that bad because there were a couple of big scores hidden in between like some popular players. So yeah, went up in rank, which was a little surprising. I thought this was going to be like the just end of the season down week. 21,000 is not great, but I mean, my goal for this season was to be top. Well, originally it was top 3,000. Then the first couple of rounds happened with Brody, and then I wanted to be top 5,000. Still way off that, and it's probably unachievable, probably, but yeah, it is what it is. You just got to roll with the punches. So getting into the team, the defense wasn't too bad. Yeah, this sucks, but we'll get into that. Sicily 116. He's probably the best. I don't know. Him and Stewart. Stewart probably finds the ball easier, but Sicily makes intercept marking look so easy. Just makes playing defense look easy. So I'd probably say he's a better defender than Stewart, but Stewart's probably better at accumulation of the ball. Sinclair was fine. Thought he was a bit better than 118, but I mean, I wouldn't say he was much better. I probably would have put him at like 124, something like that, which not too big a difference. Hewitt was a little disappointing. Carlton as a whole were a little disappointing this week, but yeah. It was against Essendon. That game sucked to watch, I'm going to be honest. Essendon man, they're bottom three for a reason. They are just not a good team. And it wasn't too great for Supercoach either. Merritt did bad, who was the trade-in for this week. People brought in Walsh, he did bad. People brought in Parrish, he did bad and is injured. Not too bad though, so I don't think you trade him or anything. But yeah, just not a great game for Supercoach. Crisp was fine. He was probably their best midfielder on the day. It depends if you count Ruck as a midfielder, but obviously, most people don't. Short again. It was an entertaining game to watch, the Richmond Port game, but not amazing for Supercoach. So it was kind of just like turn off fan footy and turn off whatever just to watch the game. Zorko, terrible. Never wanted this player. Like, let that be clear. I did not pick this guy because of upside. I picked him because I had to. I was trading out Ridley, who at the time had hamstring problems and was dropped and was playing a terrible role. So I had to get rid of him. And it was like a coin flip between Rich, who the 3 games previous had been like, massaging his hamstring and was kind of showing hamstring tightness. So then I was like, all right, well, Zorko at least can play midfield, can play forward, can play back. At least he's versatile. All he had to do was put up a reasonable score this week, and he puts up a 53. He was on track to ton, and he's probably on track for like a 110, I'd say. But it never materialized. This was terrible. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. There was a loud truck outside. I just had to go see what was happening. Zorko wasn't great. Gibcus was fine. Got saved by a goal he kicked because they moved him forward. Hopefully he doesn't stay forward because I didn't think he actually looked that great. And we're, I think I've heard 2 pronunciations. It's weird, like in wary, but I think it is where. The H would tell me it's where. He was fine. I don't think he gets a dropped because they did pick him over Haynes. I don't know if Haynes is fit, but if he was, then they've gone for like a youth movement there, which I think is fine. Took Oliver C. We'll get into this a bit later, but the reason I didn't vice captain Neil, who I thought was a very obvious vice captain, was because of this. Because I've been smashed in captain scores over like the last say 5 rounds. So the concept I went for here was Darcy's either going to give me a 150 or a 110, something like that. Like one of these scores that you can very easily skip. So yeah, it was either I take Darcy or he gives me a score that I can very easily go elsewhere with. And then I always had Oliver captain. Oliver versus Collingwood was always going to happen. Neil, if you took this, it's not terrible. 123, you're completely forgiven for taking this. But yeah, he played good. That game was, again, this was another bad game to watch. There were a lot of good games. I thought that Richmond Port, like I said, was good. Freo and Hawks was pretty good to watch. This sucked. Like on a skill level basis, this sucked. So many bad kicks, so many just terrible decisions. And then obviously the North game sucked. And then this game was really good. I really like this one. The score makes you think it was a bit more of a blowout, but it wasn't. This was like a junk time goals. They were already up 3. They just started piling on. I'll probably say Freo and Hawks is game of the round, though. I don't know. Where was I? Neil, yeah, he was good. The game sucked, though. Cripps was probably the best out of the Carlton game. I'm trying to think back. I guess Doherty was pretty good as well. That's because Essendon can't kick forward. So, yeah. Was on track for a pretty bad game, but then saved it. So, I'm happy for that, because it needed a good game. Merritt 90, like I said, a lot of the players people traded in this week just didn't score straight away. So, obviously this is fine. I think over the last 3 years, his post-buy is like 110 average. So you take it. I mean, he's capable of 130s and stuff. And look at this run. He's got West Coast, North. I thought they had West Coast twice. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Collingwood's good for a midfielder. Richmond's good for a midfielder, and that's good for finals. Like, say you're playing for league, which, I mean, basically I'm playing for league now. That's good for the Supercoach finals. Yeah, Petrarca, I thought he was a bit more damaging, but yeah, it just didn't correlate to points. I thought he was pretty good, though. Like, I didn't think he played bad. And, I mean, 99, 100 isn't a bad score. It's just, obviously you prefer way over that. Clark should keep his spot. Owens got concussed, which sucks, man. I was so high on him last week because, he comes in. I think he had like 10 tackles, 2 goals. He's like, okay, maybe not 10 tackles. I think he had like 7. Yeah, he looked really good. And then comes in and gets concussed. It sucks. Clark was good. I thought the best part of his game was his just overall kicking ability, which he might have been a little out of position for. I thought his goal kicking was fine, but it was more so like his actual accuracy and kick. I'd like to see him play a bit more like around the field instead of just being chucked forward. But I guess he's got a small frame, so I mean I would have put him on a wing, but small frame maybe. You don't want him in a midfield based role. None of them played. Carroll, like I said, didn't play, but it is what it is. Darcy, he is in bad need for this break, the bye. He is partly, I'm guessing he's partly injured. He always is. But he was just walking around. He looked so gassed. It's not even funny. Like, he looked like me running around playing basketball or something, like gassed after 5 minutes. It was bad. Surprised he got to 91. It's just because Hawthorn, like Ned Reeves, isn't good. There's like swap ruck is the forward from last year. I can't remember his name. Yeah, not good rucks. That's the only reason he got this high of a score. Well, the only issue is because they kind of got beaten around the ruck. Maybe they bring Meek back. I don't know where the spot is in the team for him, but it's possible. And I thought Lob did good as a secondary ruck. Cogs 174. This was, I mean, I can't say it was out of nowhere because versus North, a former like, did he win the? No, he didn't win the Brownlow. Or did he? No, I think he was in contention for it a couple of years ago. He's a good player. All right, he's a good player against North, who suck. Let's be quite honest here. North are probably in the worst spot of any team. West Coast is debatably worse because of big contracts on old players, but North have their pick one doesn't want to play there. Their older players are injury prone, as like Aaron Hall is super injury prone. Zeeble can't find a position to play. I thought he was fine as a defender. I didn't think he was good, but you're a bottom 4 team anyway. You can run him there. Their young forwards aren't any good. Probably their best young player is like who's shown something is like Paul Curtis, who's a small forward, which you can't build around a small forward. It's tough. So yeah, I think they're in the worst spot. So Cox kind of took advantage of that, and they tagged Josh Kelly, so that really helped him. Butters 87 got taken off with what should have been a concussion test. They didn't test him, which I think is negligence on player safety. I'm obviously no expert in the field, but he took a hard head knock, came up, shaky a bit, and they said, all right, here's a bit of strapping, go back out. It was very obvious from the broadcast that commentators could see it, fans could see it. He was not right. Him and there was another player involved. The other one looked worse, so I could see like, all right, well, we'll attend to him and we think Butters is all right. But yeah, this at minimum should have been a concussion test, but they didn't want to do it because there was 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I wonder if the AFL will do an investigation into it. I doubt it. They've got bigger problems like Bailey Smith, who I'll probably talk about later. But yeah, I did not like the Port's handling of that from a player safety point of view, which, I mean, that's the forefront of the AFL right now is player safety. And I think this is a bit hypocritical for them to say player safety is number one and then not investigate the Port incident where even if he wasn't concussed, okay, like say he's not concussed, he actually was healthy, that head knock and him coming up the way he did requires a concussion test. It just does. Yeah, it is what it is. Heaney didn't play. Bye. So the forward line was just gone this week. But this week we'll put him back on. Roses actually might do okay this week. Who did they play? Adelaide, was it? I think it was Adelaide. Yeah. Might do alright. Adelaide's defense is like, it's not anything special, but it's not terrible. Yeah, actually, let me just press optimize. So for trades, Zorko Dorko has to go. You pause there, you saw the trades. So him, Gibcus. I think Gibcus you can keep. If you need, say, 19, I think I'd say 19 is the number you want this week, not 18. You could go to 20. 20 is fine, obviously, but 19 is kind of the target because it means that you had kind of equal, like spreading of points and stuff through the other rounds. Yeah. Then McComb, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So how did I'm trying to think because I did this before. Guess I move Clark forward. That can't be right. No, it's not. That's why. Because I changed my trade plans. So originally, the idea was, without the Zorko injury, he drops 10k, 15 is what it is. Just not. He dropped like 39. So, bring in Stewart. Bring in who's the North one? He's on bye, but from all reports, he comes straight back in. Like, he comes in when what am I doing? Man, I'm all over the place. North defender, Callum Dawson. He didn't get selected this week because he had a bit of a shoulder issue, I believe. Was it shoulder or ankle? Foot. Alright, so it was ankle. But from reports, he should just come straight in. And then I was, just going to go here and bring in Laird, which, obviously, looking back, I didn't do the math properly because there was no way I could afford Rory Laird. I can't actually afford any good midfielder. What's the best I can afford? Players I can afford. So, alright, go off average. No way. No. Bailey's not. Bailey's a forward, really. Yeah, no one. Tanner Bruin, just going in and out of the GWS game, he looked alright, and I think he had 50% CBAs. But I don't think you can actually make this pick. Let's say it's 350k. If he puts up a bad score, you're kind of screwed because there's no one you can go to. Yeah, I don't really like the Tanner Bruin pick, but I don't hate it. Like, there is possibility that he does fine. Like, averages, say, 85. Buys you time till you can get to someone else. But instead of that, we'll be going in there. Yep. Alright. Turn that off. I'll just, I guess, search players myself. Doherty, who, he's by all accounts good, but it does lock me out of Stewart, which isn't amazing. And then this should be the quick way to him. I'm going to go. Oh man, the Essendon rookie. They picked up Massimo D'Ambrosio. I watched 15, 20 odd minutes of the VFL game. He looked fine. So bring him in. He should play at some point this year. I don't think he plays this week. It's definitely possible. They could just say hard reset on the team, bring him in. And then this one is make or break for the season. We're bringing in him. There's no one else quite like him. Harry Himmelberg. Man, this could go so wrong. So, you're saying, alright, this is point chasing. This is going to go wrong. He's got a very, very clear role change. Very clear. I don't think he's even left the back line since McVeigh came in. McVeigh's first game was West Coast. He played all back the whole game. He might have had a goal as well, but it was like a outside 50 take a mark goal. And then Brisbane game. This is the one that I'm actually studying, like, to make this pick. The North game is like reassurance that he can score pretty big, but it was against North, so I don't really look into it too much. This is the game I'm looking at. If he can put up a 126 versus Brisbane, who have a good forward line, I wouldn't say they're the best or anything like that, but it's good. Charlie Cameron's good. I don't think Danaher was playing, but Danaher's good. What's his name? Pulling a blank on his name. He looks like Nadal. I forgot his name though. Yeah, Reyners also came around to being a kind of good player. So That's good. Their run home's not great though. Essendon, he'll probably put up a huge score versus Essendon. Versus Hawks, it's possible depending on Mitch Lewis, who I think is kind of underrated right now. I think he's one of the better forwards in the league. Just can't stay healthy. Collingwood, maybe. Depends on Cox. If Cox plays like he did this week, man, he's gonna be like best ruck in the AFL. So yeah, going with this. Oh, this could go so bad. All Himmelberg has to do is buy me time till I can get to a Bond as a forward. If say like the ruck situation isn't great, like maybe Darcy just doesn't have it this year, right? Like just can't stay healthy and can't find a good track of form. Have to trade him out, bring in Teakle. This becomes like move him to Bont. This becomes the top 6 forwards, and then use the money from Darcy and Himmelberg to Laird, Walsh, Parrish, Mills, any one of them. All right. So I think there's a lot of ways out of this. That's why I'm fine with it. The only issue is, it's a week late because he's gone up 85k. His break even is negative 61. That's really good. Can't usually I actually look at this because it's not. I mean, because it's using real stats, it's not inaccurate. But I mean, he's not a forward; he's a defender. I guess I could use this. Jacob Ware, 6 first defenders. It's not terrible. I'll take it. Dogs forwards aren't too impressive anyway. But yeah, that's the trades for this week. Kind of taken a shot in the dark, point chasing. Honestly, I don't know. Make or break trade, to be honest. Doesn't work, season's done. But it was done anyway because some bad injuries and bad picks. So I'll see you all next week. Let me know what trades you're making and how your buy rounds are going. But until then, tasty out.